Good. It has to be reduced a bit. Om, Om, yeah. Now it looks good. We'll see how it progresses. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shruti Smriti Purāṇānāṃ Ālayam Karuṇālayam Namāmi Bhagavatpāda Shankaram Nārayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devīm Saraswatīm Vyāsam Tato Jayamudīrayet Yakṣa uvāca Kim brāhmaṇānāṃ devatvaṃ kaśca dharmaḥ kaścaiṣāṃ mānuṣo bhāvaḥ kimeṣāmasatāmiva. All the questions are about the intellectual class. Brahmana, that is the name given to the intellectual class. Then comes Kshatriya, which is the warrior class. 4 questions about Brahmana. The second question is kaśca dharmaḥ. What is the dharma, duty of a Brahmana, so that the Brahmana following that dharma can be characterized as a good person. Satāmiva. Sat means good people. Good people have something that defines their good nature. So similarly, there is a dharma which has to be followed by the Brahmana. What is that dharma? This is the poetry of riddles. In the very ancient poetry, that poetry of riddles. And so you have to carefully work out the question and the answer also. It is mostly straightforward, as you have seen till today, but sometimes it could be a little more complex than straightforward. There is a story which you must have heard in Mahabharata. As you continue to read chapter after chapter, suddenly there comes a verse or two where you cannot make any progress and you get stuck. Such a part in the Mahabharata is called a granthi, a knot, a knot. Knot is N-O-T, not no, a knot. Grantha, granthi. Grantha means the book. As you are reading, it is like water is flowing in a pipe and suddenly there is a knot in the pipe and the water cannot flow anymore. Similarly, I am teaching, I am explaining the Yakṣapraśnāḥ continuously, smoothly, nicely, and suddenly there comes a verse which challenges the speaker as well as the student. So, kaśca dharmaḥ. We should be prepared for such unusual obstacles. The verse looks simple, the words are known to us, but what is the spirit of the question? What is it that he is asking and what is the reply given? Sometimes you have to struggle to make out. I do have a commentary before me. Sometimes the commentary helps, sometimes it doesn't help also. So all these issues could be there. Look at this kaśca dharmaḥ. What is the dharma? Duty. Dharma is duty of a Brahmana. Satāmiva. There is an example. Within the question there is an example. Like there are good people. There must be a quality among the good people, and that can be called the dharma of the good people. So a similar dharma must be there in the Brahmana also. And what is that? That is the question. Now the answer verse. Yudhishthira uvāca. Svādhyāya eṣāṃ devatvaṃ tapa eṣāṃ satāmiva maranam mānuṣo bhāvaḥ parivādo satāmiva. So first question we have seen. We are looking at the second question. The answer is tapaha. That is the answer. Tapaha. Now this tapaha we have already seen. That tapaha is different. That tapa alochana. Whereas here tapaha is kaścaiṣāṃ. That is the definition given by Patanjali also in the yoga. So in the Patanjala yoga. So what happens is you deny to yourself, this I have already said, self-abnegation, that is the tapas, self-denial. So if you have any familiarity, or if you are familiar with Swami Vivekananda's literature, you will immediately understand that this quality of self-abnegation is highlighted by him a lot. The advice given to Mahatmas, Brahmana means he is the top person in the ladder of the social life, you know. Top person means not in the social structure, that kind of top I am not talking. Within a given group of people, there is one Brahmana who is superior very intellectually. That is the Brahmana we are talking about. And so he should be different from all others. And he must have certain qualities that are unique to the intellectual class. And one of those qualities is tapaha, means self-abnegation. Means you do not seek for yourself. And if it is necessary to deny to yourself, you will happily do it. It is like there are two people and there is one fruit. If one of them is a Brahmana, he will happily hand it over to the other person. And he will live without it. So like that is the Brahmana. So you see, there was a jail in India. And in one of the cells, 3 people were kept. That is the nature of the cell. Jail is overcrowded like anywhere else. And so 3 people were kept. And then suddenly there was this virus, coronavirus pandemic going on. And it enters the jail also. Jail is what they call here penitentiary. Okay? And so it is there in the jail. And it has entered into this cell. And all the 3 got it. Then they were giving medicine. The jail authorities secured some doses of medicine and they were giving. So they have, in those days, not many doses were available. A limited number of doses were available. There was short supply. Later supplies have improved. In those initial days, the jailer came to their cell and gave them 1 dose per week. For one person's dose for a week. He gave that, he put there. You decide among you. If you share this dose among you 3, all the 3 will die. But if you take only one of them takes it, that person is likely to survive. The other 2 will die. Now I don't want to make a choice, you decide it. Those were the days, initial days of virus were like that. Later things have improved. Now these 3 were there. And one of them is a Brahmana. Means very high caliber of understanding he had by a very highly qualified person, this and that. For some reason he was in the jail. So he said, let us all 3 take the dose. If we have to die, all of us we have to die, we will die, doesn't matter. But I don't want to. They advised him, you take, we will die. He said, no, I won't take. You take. No, unless you take, we won't take. Then let us all the 3 take. So all the 3 have taken. Fortunately, all the 3 survived later. Therefore, the Brahmana is the one who is willing to let go the chance to live by giving the dose to the other people. That is the Brahmana. That is his dharma. That is called tapaha. Kaścaiṣāṃ. So self-abnegation. He is willing to suffer by denying a particular facility for himself in favor of others. That is one way of looking at this tapaha. Then another way is, as Patanjali said, tapaha is the mental attitude, the psychological disposition to face the difficulty in life. You see, some people at the first hint of some physical difficulty, they run away from there. Whereas some people, they don't mind to face the physical difficulty, the trouble or the suffering, physical pain, etc. They accept it voluntarily and suffer under the burden of this pain just for the sake of helping others. That is kaścaiṣāṃ. You see, one day what happened, myself and another gentleman, we were there in the room. Then suddenly message came. Somebody, one of our persons was involved in an accident. It was night time, night 10 or so. It was all dark in those days, in the university days. So, and somebody was involved in accident, he needs some urgent help, please come. Then both of us, we rushed. And this person, both of us should go together, otherwise we will miss the place and all that. We will be able to help if we both go. So this man, it was winter. I was ready in 30 seconds. Put on one more shirt and put the legs, feet in the chappals, that is, I am ready. Whereas this man, he puts socks, then boots, then thermals, then a pant, then another thermal, another shirt, and then he has to put a cap, cover the ears. Then he is searching for a shawl. Like that he was doing. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting. Then I told him, come on, that person needs urgent help, and you rush. Outside cold, I understand, it is winter, and I understand, but you won't die just because you don't put on the shawl. You have put enough dress already, come. That is the difference between a Brahmana and the other. The Brahmana is willing to take physical trouble, willing to face difficulty for the sake of others. Whereas the other guy is not willing to take any trouble. He is very self-centered, and things must be favorable to him or her all the time. They are not willing to sacrifice anything. These are how the person with the quality of Brahmana will not behave. So that is the tapaha. Now you got the word tapaha. So this tapaha is the quality of good people. You find it among good people. And of course it characterizes a Brahmana. Good. Next question. Kaścaiṣāṃ mānuṣo bhāvaḥ. This Brahmana is described as devatvaṃ. What is the devatvaṃ of the Brahmana? Swadhyaya. We have described it. That is the godly quality in him, divine quality in him. But then the Brahmana, being a Brahmana, he may come down to the level of human being. He may not keep his status of a devata. He falls down to the status of a human being like any other human being. That is called mānuṣo bhāvaḥ, the status of being an ordinary human. For a Brahmana, it is something unimaginable. For everybody else, it is okay. Not for a Brahmana. He has to maintain his status as a devata. But now, he doesn't maintain it, he falls down. When? How? How he falls down? To the level of an ordinary human being. That is the question. And the answer given is, maranam mānuṣo bhāvaḥ. Death makes him like any other human being, nothing special about being a Brahmana. What is death? What is death? Death means everybody dies. Suppose he falls dead. That makes him a human being. That is not the idea. Death means the identification with the body, the tikakara. So everybody dies, not only a Brahmana dies, everybody dies. Now we are talking of a particular disqualification of a Brahmana. So if you say death, that doesn't become a qualification or disqualification of a Brahmana, because it is common to all. Therefore, the word death is carefully understood as, explained as dehabhimana. What is death? So this question is asked in the Upanishad. What is death? The answer given is pramadam vai mrutyumaham bravimi. That is the Yakṣa from the Upanishad. I tell you that pramada means inadvertence is the death. What is the inadvertence? That you identify with the body. That is the inadvertence. As a Brahmana, you are not supposed to identify with the body. You are supposed to identify with the spirit and stand at the level of a devata. But you end up identifying with the physical body, means you are courting death. Who dies? The one who identifies with the physical body dies. That itself is death. He need not wait for death. He is already dead. Why? Because physical body is dead. Physical body doesn't live. You live, not the physical body. You live. So this dehabhimana is death. Okay? Now I talked a lot about dehabhimana. Please bear with me. I am going to talk a little more about it. I have to speak 1 hour 15 minutes here. What do you think speaking 1 hour 15 minutes to a group of such highly qualified people like you is a terrific challenge it is. I face the challenge day in and day out. I asked you a question. You have to ask this question yourself to yourself. That the question is it important or not to know whether you are a mere body or something else? Is it important or not to know that? You should know that. You should know that. You are not a mere body, you are something else. But you take yourself to be a mere body, that is death. You see, people don't understand, they fail to understand. You have a variety of problems in life. Everybody has problems. This is something people have to understand. I have already discussed the psychology of the problems in one session. But we may discuss it one more time when time comes. Some more things can be said also about it. But everybody seems to have problems. There is nobody who doesn't have problems. The President of America also has problems. And the rickshaw puller also has problems. Everybody, only the walls and the roof don't have problems. Everybody seems to have problems. So, why problems? You understand? Why problems? All your problems are body's problems. Food, clothing, shelter, family, friends, name, security, survival. People want to survive. You need not survive because you are timeless, you are deathless. Why should you survive? But you have this desire to survive. Means you are the body. You are the body. Unless you are the body, you cannot have survival as a problem. People have survival problems. Yeah? Very funny. There is a mantra, Mrutyunjaya mantra it is. Triyambakam yajamahe. One day I went to meet a Mahatma. I heard that he was not well. I was around, so I went to meet him and take his blessings. I spent a little time with him. He was chanting a mantra. And when I went, he was chanting the mantra, and somebody told him, this is Swami came to see. Okay, come. He was chanting this mantra. In between also they gave me a cup of tea and he is still chanting his mantra in himself. Finally I asked him, what mantra are you chanting? He said, Triyambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam namrutyunjaya mahamantra. I said, okay, wonderful. Maybe he wants to live. That's why he must be. That is how people chant it. They want to live. Then he told me, what do you think? Why I am chanting it? Please tell me. I don't know. Please tell me. He said, I want to die peacefully without prolonging this existence. The body has become very weak and it doesn't deserve to survive anymore. But if it prolongs, that will make a suffering for me. Therefore, I am doing that mantra so that I can go easily. That is what he said. Did you ever come across someone who chants a Mahamrityunjaya mantra for the sake of going quickly? Did you ever come across? I never came across. That's why that Mahatma remained in my mind. Very unique. Everybody is chanting this mantra to live longer. And when they don't have energy to sit and chant, they employ somebody to sit and chant. Another person, a priest, sits and chants. So, this kind of deputation. You depute a priest to chant the mantra on your behalf so that you can live longer. What is this? So, survival. Survival has become your problem. What is this? It is not your problem. It is the body's problem. Did body ever complain, I want to survive? Did it ever complain? Did it ever ask for it? No. So, all these are problems because you identify with the body. The moment you stop identifying with the body, the moment you realize that you may not be a mere body, that much is enough. That much is enough. I may not be a mere body. The moment you realize that, the list that I have enumerated, it will vanish. It has no relevance anymore. So, how to overcome this body identification? Because it is very deep-seated malice in people. They are badly identified with the body. Even so-called Mahatmas, etc., they are identified with the body. The sannyasis also seem to be identified with the body, what to speak of the worldly people. So, what is the reason for it? The reason is this much. You look at your consciousness, do you have the tendency to define yourself or not? If you have the tendency, you are identifying with the body and you cannot overcome the body identification. It will stay with you. People routinely identify themselves, so they define themselves. Like suppose somebody defines himself, aham brāhmaṇānāṃ, as a caste. So he has identified with the body. What does he mean? Aham brāhmaṇānāṃ means what? You ask him, what do you mean by that? You are a brahmana, ready. What do you mean by that? He means, knowingly or unknowingly, that his parents are brahmana. That is all he knows about it. His parents are brahmana, therefore he takes himself to be brahmana. In that, there is a tremendous problem. Did you notice it? How do you know that your parents are brahmana? They told you. Hearsay. That is one thing. Second thing, you are not born. You are not the son, or you are not pita or putra. You are atma. No, I am the son. Then you are a body. You are nothing more than a body. Then only you can be a son, S-O-N son. Therefore, this habit of defining oneself, it makes the person identify with the body. As long as you define yourself, suppose somebody defines himself or herself as guru, let us say, is not the person identified with the body? Otherwise, why you define yourself as guru? You just instruct the students, whatever understanding you have, share it with the students, instruct the students and let it rest there. That is enough. No, I am the guru, you are the shishya. Means what? I am the body-identified guru and you are all body-identified shishyas. What kind of Vedanta it is? Something is basically wrong. Therefore, the problem of body identification arises or originates from the tendency to define oneself. Because all definitions apply to your body only. Once this obsession with this body goes, How it will go? You stop defining yourself in one way or the other. You don't define yourself at all. Then the obsession with the body goes. Then that state of consciousness, it is called a natural state of consciousness. It is the natural state. And you reach that natural state of consciousness spontaneously and effortlessly. You need not make any effort for that. You reach it very naturally once you stop identifying with the body by giving up this tendency to define yourself. Don't you ever define yourself one way or the other. I suggest when the context demands, you define. Rest of the time, in your consciousness, you should not define yourself one way or the other. In the application form, in India, application form, high school application form, name. You know there are columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, some 20 will be there. You have to fill up all that. When you apply to passport, Indian passport, my God, it is such a rigmarole. You have to go through a lot of problems. You need an expert by your side. Then only you can finish that application form. So name, okay, name. It is whose name it is? The body's name. Then father's name. You write father's name. You have to write it, therefore write it. Correctly you write it. You write it in a way that it doesn't contradict what you wrote in your earlier passport. See that and write it. Then date of birth, put it correctly. So in such a situation, you have to assume the body identification because that is how it works. Therefore, do that and be done with it. Beyond that, you should not assume any body identification. You should rise above body identification. And it can be done easily. Very simple. You stop defining yourself one way or the other. I am what I am. No definition. So you have to correct your attitude to the body and leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't be obsessed with the body. Don't pamper the body. Don't torture the body. Both are bad. Some people pamper the body. Some people, who are those? Some people, we people pamper the body. That is what we do. And that makes us heavy set. In a way, we are all weighing a few pounds extra unnecessarily, and we want to lose those few pounds. It is not easy to lose those pounds. And so most of us are heavy set. There are worthy examples here itself. Please don't mind my saying that. Therefore, this obsession with the body, so which translates as obsession with food, very big problem. This is not your problem, not my problem alone. It is a crisis of civilization. It's a civilizational crisis. It is the Phoenix city population crisis it is, not you and me. So we eat more than the body requires, and so body requires food, but we believe that we enjoy food. So that is how we end up. That becomes an important quality in the consciousness. And so the advice given is don't pamper the body, don't torture the body. Then in religion, there are religious groups which torture the body. So they take a spear and push it into the cheek. A spear, you push a silver spear. They are sold. Outside the temple they are sold. Silver spear, golden spear, and a copper spear. If you are poor, purchase the copper spear and pierce through the tongue. If you are rich, you can go to silver or go to gold and pierce it. Then go to the temple, stand before the god. And then the priest there, some blood is oozing out. The priest encourages you by taking bhasma. Bhasma, you know, ashes. You see on my face, that is the ashes. He takes those ashes and puts there as an ointment. Is it ointment? Huh? This is how they torture the body. They assume by torturing the body, they are torturing themselves, and that makes them qualified for the blessings of the devata. What kind of devata it is that blesses you when you torture the body? Huh? Really, huh? The devata must be blessing you when you elevate yourself to that higher state of consciousness, divine consciousness. That is when the devata should bless you, not when you torture the body by identifying with the body. This kind of a problem is very much there in Hindu sects. It is there to a small extent in Christian sects also. It is there in other Abrahamic faiths also. Almost in Islamic sects also it is there. Not all, but some sects. Yeah, they torture the body. You should not do that. So the advice is don't pamper. Generally, for people like us, the advice, don't torture the body, you need not give the advice, because you don't torture it anyway. But the advice is, don't pamper. Having said that, say the opposite also. Just keep it going. Just keep the body going. And you understand that most of the time, you are beyond the threshold of body consciousness. Most of the time. Just keep it that way. Keep it that way. That is all you have to do. And so, pay conscious attention to the reality that you are not the body. You are not mere body. Pay conscious attention. This body, I am. That viveka, you pay attention, practice viveka, as we have said already. You see, why there is this body identification with us? Why we have it? You know why? Because we have not investigated it. Nobody investigates. The worldly person doesn't investigate. Will he investigate? Am I the body? Will he? No. What about the religious person? He too doesn't investigate. He is sure that he is the body, he is a brahmana, upper caste, he is the karta, bhokta, everything. And his body is pure, somebody else's body is impure, and he gets defiled by somebody else coming near him. There is no end to this enormous ignorance, the monstrosity of ignorance. Very sad. It has done so much harm to Hindu dharma. Now people have migrated away from Hindu dharma. You cannot stop them. They have migrated in hordes. Big numbers have migrated because we have denied the right to worship. How can you deny that? There is God. You put an idol there, call it God, and take kabja of that. This God is in my kabja. What is the kabja means? I own it. I possess it. So you put the God there, and you own and you possess the God, and somebody else has to come near the God with some devotion. He has to get your permission. Who are you? All are God's children, I suppose. Some basic truths are also missed. So, this is how there is this illusion of being one with the body only because we refuse to investigate. You see, I tell you, when you say, I am, ahamasmi, you are right. But when you say, I am this or I am that, you are false. You need to inquire. When you say, I am this or I am that, suppose you say, aham brāhmaṇānāṃ, somebody else says, I am Shudra. That only shows, or you yourself say, saha Shudraha, whatever. This is only a sign of non-inquiry. That clearly shows to the discerning mind that this guy doesn't have inquiry in his life. Self-inquiry, Atma Vichara, is absent in the person's life. He may be a very big man, this and that, but he doesn't have self-inquiry in his life. That's why he is identifying with the body. If only you inquire, you investigate, this mental weakness of identifying with the body will vanish. And why people don't investigate, why don't they inquire? Because they are lethargic. That is all you can say. That intellectual lethargy that doesn't allow them to inquire, and therefore they don't inquire, therefore they continue to identify with the body and go into an ignorance that seems to have no end. And therefore such an identification with the body is death. Particularly for an intellectual person who studied Shastras and Vedas and all that, for him, that he identifies with the body is death. That is the answer given by Dharmaraja. When Dharmaraja will be asked later, who is a Brahmana, who is a Kshatriya, etc., you will be in for a big surprise, the kind of reply he will give. In for a very big surprise, you know. So that is the question. Then the final question, kimeṣāmasatāmiva. So what is that quality in these Brahmanas that makes them, that is unfit for them, that is unbecoming of them, or that doesn't behove them? What is that quality? Like you find a group of rowdies or bad guys and they have that quality. What is that quality? That such a quality doesn't behove a Brahmana, but still he seems to have that quality, like these rowdies and bad people. What could be that quality? That is the question. The poetry of riddles. Don't expect the question to be straightforward. Don't ask me, why don't he ask a straightforward question? Because Yakṣa is trying to prove that Dharmaraja doesn't know. That's why the questions are a bit like riddles. But then Dharmaraja answers, parivado satāmiva. Parivadaha is scandalizing. That is parivadaha. You scandalize another person. The soft version of scandalizing is gossiping. You see, 4 people come together. They gossip about somebody, the 5th guy, known to all the 4. In fact, he might be one of their colleagues also. They gossip about the 5th person. Now, in the meanwhile, the 5th person walks in. Then they stop gossiping about him. Okay, because he joined the group. Out of these 5, one of them goes away for some work. Then they start gossiping about him. You got the point? So, why people gossip? Why do people gossip? There should be some reason for it. It is suggested that people have that violence in them. That violence expresses in the form himsa. Violence is himsa. It expresses in the form of gossip. Because in gossiping against a person, you are hoping that the person will get hurt. At the level of the mind, there is violence in us. We are all very violent people. There is so much violence in us. Why people burn crackers and tapas on Deepavali day? Because they are violent in nature. Why should you burn anything? Unless you are a violent guy, why should you put anything to fire? What for? Because it turns into ashes, you know, and then it creates some furor, some gadabada it creates, some noise and other things it creates. And so you enjoy it. So you play with fire using some small devices which burst or which rush into the sky for a while. And so you enjoy that fire and that burning and all that. Is that not violence in the people? It is violence. And what is the function called Deepavali? What is Deepavali? A sequence of lamps. What is lamp in this crackers and all that? These crackers, etc., were not there before potassium nitrate was invented. And do you know when was potassium nitrate discovered? 1755 or so. Long back. It is the Germans were great chemists. Till the end of World War II, Germans were great chemists, my God. All chemistry, inorganic and organic, came from German. There is a German journal called Berichte, very popular journal. Big volumes of earlier will be there. From 1890, like that, all through the 1900 to 2000, like that, Berichte will be there. All those volumes will be there in the library. They are all chronicles of scientific research, chemistry. So, these Germans, my God, so much chemistry they have done. Recently they gave a Nobel Prize for click chemistry. Did you notice it? Click chemistry means an alkyne with a triple bond and an azide, N. Three nitrogens combined with two double bonds, an azide, like sodium azide or phenyl azide. So these two, this is the alkyne, this is the azide. They click, forming a triazole, a heterocyclic ring with the three nitrogens sequentially. That is the click chemistry. This was given Nobel Prize. Why it was given Nobel Prize? Because it was known earlier. This click chemistry was known earlier. A German has discovered it in 1940s. But only he was able to do this click chemistry at higher temperatures. Whereas the Sharpless and other people in America, they did the same click chemistry at room temperature using cuprous acetate as the catalyst. They came out with a catalyst and then expanded it to make variety of compounds. Originally discovered by German. When I saw the Nobel Prize for click chemistry, I was reading about it. Then in the references, the original click chemistry reaction was done by a German in 1940 and published in Berichte. And that got a Nobel Prize after another 60 years to a person who improved upon that reaction. Germans are tremendous scientists. My God, in those days. It is the World War II which has taken away their scientific acumen that has migrated to America. They have taken all the files and sent it to America. Not only files, some of the scientists they have arrested and sent it to America. Like this, even rocket chemistry, etc. Terrific people. I have digressed out of my love for their science. I talked all that. So the point is, what is the point? I forgot the point. So, violence. Potassium nitrate was invented by a German scientist in 1750 or so. Only after that, all these crackers came into effect. Germans only invented the crackers. Do you know RDX who invented? A German. When? 1920. RDX is a very dangerous and a very powerful explosive called tetranitropentaerythritol. TNPE. Tetranitropentaerythritol. It was made by German. It's a solid. And it explodes. And it is one of the important ingredients in all these bullets and other explosives. Terrific people. So violence, all violence. So anyway, so people have this violence in them. That violence expresses, I have digressed, please bear with me. So this violence expresses as Deepavali crackers. You need Deepavali lamps. Why crackers? That is violence. And then they have they play with a bull. This is Spanish people. They play with the bull. That is violence in them. They put it upon the animal. In Tamil Nadu it is Jallikattu. And the Supreme Court judges, they tried their level best to stop Jallikattu. But politicians did not agree to it. Then the Supreme Court judges, you know what they told? We gave our judgment. Now you do whatever you do. Then the Tamil Nadu government, they have allowed Jallikattu. They say it is our culture. What is that culture? Is it not violence? It is violence. Is in our culture there is violence. We are violent people. And this violence comes out in all kinds of forms. And one of those forms of violence is gossiping. Why do you gossip? Suppose you love 4 people. Will you gossip about those 4 people? No. Suppose you love a person. If others are gossiping about him, what will you say? Hey, shut up. Why do you gossip about him like that? He is a good man. You please say, no, shut up. That is what you will say. But when you don't love somebody, then the violence that is there in you comes out in the form of gossip. That is parivādaḥ. If that is found in a Brahmana, he fits into a group of bad people. He doesn't stand out as a good man. That is there. Then parivādaḥ has another meaning, more important, scandal. You see, there is so much hypocrisy in the societies, in the individuals and in the social groups, so much of hypocrisy. Like, there is an affair of a man with a woman. Every man has an affair with another woman, more or less. These affairs are there everywhere. It is not the problem of the man or woman. It is the problem of hormones. Estrogen and testosterone and 17 alpha hydroxy progesterone. That is what they are. Nothing more than that. That is what they are. It is the hormones. Somebody asked me a satsang question. So this Swami had an affair with that woman. So what is your opinion? Why Swami alone? Everybody had an affair with the woman or the other. Almost everybody. So what is your problem? No, he is a Swami. Swami also is a human being. And all are human beings only. Outside the dress is a Swami, but behind the dress, kya hai? Human being is there. And the hormones are there. So you should have such Catholic thinking. Means very wide, inclusive thinking, that you are willing to forgive anybody, anything. That kind of a loving attitude you should have. You should not scandalize anybody. Somebody asked me that Swami has a scandal, so he was here and there. Some scandals are world popular scandals. I don't want to say a name. So why he has, you see, I do not find that a scandal as a crime on his part. I ask the question, whether the woman consented or not. It is consensual, then no scandal. Let them decide what they want. They will face the music. Why should you make a scandal of them? When there is consensus, you see, a police officer, they took a complaint to the police officer in Bangalore. You arrest him. He asked, what is the complaint? He read, what is the complaint? Is it consensual or not? He asked the question. If it is not consensual, you bring a complaint. I will arrest the person. But if it is consensual, means the woman agreed, then there is no crime. No, he is a Swami. That is not the duty of the police department. He refused to arrest the person. So we should not fall and trap into these scandals. We should rise above the scandals. I do not admit any scandal. There is no scandal. There is scandal only when you do not understand the way things happen in the world. You do not understand. You want to throw mud on somebody else. You have that violence in you. That's why you see a scandal. I do not see any scandal. For me, there are no scandals. What about that Swami? I do not find fault with that Swami about this scandal. I found fault with that Swami because he did not study anything and he is teaching to the students. That is you arrest him on that basis. That is the crime. He doesn't know Rama Shabda and he teaches Vedanta to people and teaches about Shiva, Vishnu and all that. Doesn't know anything. He is an ignoramus. You arrest him for that, for misleading people. Not for the sake of a scandal. We should rise above this attitude of scandals. We should rise above that. So, that is the verse. We finished it. Next, Yakṣa uvāca kim kshatriyanam devatvaṃ kaśca dharmaḥ satāmiva kaścaiṣāṃ mānuṣo bhāvaḥ kimeṣāmasatāmiva. Same four questions. Only Brahmana is replaced by Kshatriya. Again, it is not about birth-based caste. This is not the caste system. Okay? So, you see, some of our friends say, there is no caste system. What is that? It is trying to browbeat the other person. There is caste system. It is there in the Hindu society, and you should admit it, and you should correct it also. I mean, just simply trying to browbeat the other person, that is not proper. There is caste system. So that's why the word Kshatriya came. That's why I am pointing out it is not based on birth. Okay? So there are Kshatriyas, means people of the warrior class. They are the Kshatriya, security people. Security people are there in the society everywhere. In fact, if you go to Walmart, you won't see there are security people around. If you park your car in the Walmart parking space for more than an hour or two, then the security man will come and ask you, who are you, why your car is still here? Means he is watching all the cars. You come, do the job, purchase and go away. You can't use their parking space for parking your car. If you park, the security man will spot it and he will question it. Anyway, these security people, they are always there, but you don't see them. They are not very conspicuous, but sometimes you see them also. So in every society, there are security people. And here is a security person, and what is his status of a devata? So, what is it that makes him a devata? Devatvaṃ. You know what is the answer? Gun. Gun. Yeah, he holds a gun in his, in the waist he has a gun. That makes him a real security guy. Therefore, that is the quality of divineness, devatvaṃ. So here he said, Ishvastram, the bow. Okay? So the bow is the thing which confers the quality of devata upon the security man. Okay? We have in our childhood, we have this popular Police Swami. Did you hear that? Police Swami. I am saying Swami, the va they don't pronounce. Police Swami, something like that. Police Swami. You know what is Police Swami? He has half a lathi, not full lathi, half a lathi. And then he goes to the duty. He is going to the duty on a cycle. And behind the cycle, he has put a bedding. He tied the bedding, to sleep, the sleeping bag like thing. We call it bedding. You understand? That he tied behind his cycle. He is going. Yamandi, police Venkata Swami, where are you going? You know what he says? I am going to duty. He is going to duty. So what is the duty? Why you are carrying this bedding? Yeah, you have to sleep, And he has a lathi. Even a street dog is not afraid of his lathi. That is not the police. Police means, nowadays they have changed, of course. Do you know the gunmen around our Narendra Modi ji? He is the most well-protected head of the state in the world. Even President of America doesn't have that kind of protection, because India is a very violent society as of now, because of the caste and this religious divisions. He is protected so well. One day what happened, his motorcade was going, and they are on the bridge, a long bridge, and the other side of the bridge some public protest is going on. And so motorcade cannot be allowed. The police should have cleared that protest long back, but they did not do a good job in Punjab. There were some political differences. And so the Prime Minister's motorcade was stopped on the bridge. They stopped all traffic on that side. No traffic can come. Immediately, there were 6 or 8 gunmen with drawn rifles, AK-47 rifles, around him. They were prepared to handle a crowd of even 1,000 people if they come anywhere near. Then immediately one coordinator gave a message, don't allow anybody to come near. We are not responsible for the lives of the people. Nobody should come anywhere near. You take care of that protest going on down the bridge. Then it was decided that he won't go. The motorcade went back and went to the airport and then went to Delhi. Therefore, they appear to be very simple. When he takes a bath in Ganga, they all come in bathing dresses. But below the dress there are guns. You know that? AK-47, very high-class rifles. Even AK-47 may be outdated. Even better quality rifles, etc. they will have. And when he goes into the temple, all these people come with the white dress, with the dhoti and all that, with the gun in between. Not seen. Gun is not seen. They come like that. They will be going around him. So that is the devata, the kshatriya, with a gun and ready to use the gun if needed, not some Tommy gun. That is the quality of devata. Like Kodanda Ramaha. Ramaha means Kodanda Ramaha. The Rama with the bow and arrows in his hand. Because he is the kshatriya, he has to protect people from the villains and the terrorists of the day. So that is the meaning given. Then, next question. Kaśca dharmaḥ What is the dharma of these kshatriyas? Just like a group of good people have a dharma that defines that group as good people, Satpurusha. There must be a dharma. So similarly, there must be a dharma that defines the kshatriya. What is that dharma? That is the question. The answer is yakṣapraśnāḥ satāmiva. Yeah, that quality is yajñaha. That is the quality. So, what is yajña then? That will come in the next verse. But yajñaha. That's why, if you see in these epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc., these kings were performing great rituals. Like Rama was performing Ashwamedha Yaga, like that we have. Even Dasharatha Maharaja has performed Ashwamedha Yaga. And then Dharmaraja has performed Rajasuya Yaga, well known in the epic. And as recently as 1000 years back or so, King Pushyamitraha performed Ashwamedha Yaga. Yeah, very recently. Very recently means 1000 years back. And then in Kashi you have Dashashvamedha Ghat, means a particular bathing ghat, where Ashwamedha was performed by a king. So these kings perform great Vedic yajnas, so great Vedic rituals. The meaning of yajna in a very narrow sense is a ritual. But then yajna has a wider meaning also. So that yajna, wider meaning, etc., we are going to discuss, it is coming. But here, only limited meaning. So, if a king performs a yajna, like Dharmaraja performing Rajasuya, etc., like our Prime Minister Narendra Modi performed the Rama Vigraha was consecrated. He performed the consecration of Lord Rama's temple. That is the yajna. That is the yajna. Rama Janma Bhumi Smaraka Yajna or something, some yajna it is. And he remained without food for a few days also for performing that yajna. You know that? And he took food, some milk was given to him to drink only after he performed that consecration. Then he took some food. And so he performed that yajna. As the head of the state, he performed the yajna. And so there this question came. All the saints and sages of India, North India in particular, they said he is the king and he has to perform this yajna. And so they encouraged him. He asked their advice. They uniformly advised him. This Rama Janma Bhumi Nyas is there. It is headed by Swami Nritya Gopal Das. Like that there are many great, Swami, another Giriji was there. All these Mahatmas, they have advised him, you are the king, the head of the state, so you have to perform this yajna, please come. Then he asked, what formalities I have to undertake, what kind of austerity I have to follow for being able to perform this. Then they advised him, you serve in some of these temples and also you avoid regular food for 3 days, eat liquid food, something like that they said. And he followed all those things. And he dressed the way they required him to dress and he performed the consecration ceremony. That is the example in modern times of a head of the state performing the yajna. That makes him a devata among the heads of state. So, he is the head of the state and hence he is a kshatriya. That is how all these Mahatmas have concluded. He was born in a BC family, therefore he is a Shudra. That is what some of the Jagadguru people have concluded. And at least one of them has said it openly. Look at that. Very sad. Very unfortunate. Then, we have seen there is a Brahmana. What is his downfall to the level of a human being? He is devata, but falls down to the level of ordinary human being. What is that? So identification with the body, which is death. What is a similar thing for kshatriya? That is the question, for the warrior class. You know what is the similar thing? Let us say, bhayam vai mānuṣo bhāvaḥ. That is what it is. He is afraid. That is death for him. That pulls him down to the level of ordinary human beings. Bhayam, fear. You see, a kshatriya, the head of the state, he is not supposed to be afraid. If he is afraid, what decision he can take? So, this fear, it makes converts a devata into a human. And it is death for the human being also. Because fear is the destructive energy in the human being. It is energy. It's very destructive. It withers the mind. It distorts the thought. People who are afraid, the type of things which they do, you cannot imagine. It is like in the villages, while you are walking in the morning, suddenly on the road, in the center of the road, you will find water, a red kunkuma, that red powder, turmeric powder, chili, and other things you find them on the center of the road. You know it or not? Who has put it? Somebody who is afraid of some evil spirit in the family. Some evil spirit possessed somebody in the family. That is how they fear. Somebody got favor or whatever. And so they attribute the favor or whatever, some illness, to an evil spirit. And sometimes the person is in depression. There is a depression. They assume that the depression is also evil spirit. The person is sick. That is also evil spirit. The person is infected with some virus, smallpox, etc. That is also evil spirit. All beliefs, wrong beliefs. And now how to get rid of the evil spirit? So make the person sit there, and one woman, she is supposed to be very spiritual or religious. And so she takes all these items, turmeric powder, chili, salt, and a few other silly items. She makes a bundle, and she will turn it around the head of the victim, and then gives to them. Put it in the middle of the road. Why? Because somebody has to step on it so that the evil spirit will go to him. Can you believe it? These people are most dangerous people. Thank God there is no evil spirit. Otherwise, for the thing that they have done, half of the village should become sick. Because they, can you believe it? It doesn't occur to them such a thing we should not do. It doesn't occur to them. Thank God they are superstitious and it has no meaning. But suppose there is meaning in it, then that is so. The fear, it distorts the human thought. They become violent and they become very insensitive. Whatever may happen to the entire village community, doesn't matter. My family member should become free from this evil spirit. That is the distortion of thought. And then also, one more thing I will tell you. I hope you appreciate what I am trying to say. When a person is afraid, he comes out with all kinds of extraordinarily clever theories. Shall I give you an example? Shani has possessed you. What a clever theory it is. And then he puts you on the table and draws all like a Pythagoras or like a mathematics professor, he draws all figures. And this is Shukra, this is, what does it mean? This is 7th house, that is 12th house. Can you make any sense with that language? I don't make any sense. I am very ignoramus. I don't know what it means. Now Shukra is looking at Shani with a crooked eye. What does it mean? This kind of extraordinarily cunning and false theories they produce out of fear. You got the point? The kind of theories they come out with, amazing. I gave you one example. There are any number of such examples. You know, one more example I will give you. A person made a temple and he became sick. Having made a temple, he should become healthy, not sick. But then this problem was posed before a scholar. He is not a scholar, he is an ignoramus. He doesn't know anything. But poses as a scholar. Because he reads some of these silly books and he talks some of this useless language. like something has moved from navel to the throat or heart. This kind of language he speaks, therefore he becomes a scholar. And now he came out with a theory. He examined the person's horoscope or horoscope, whatever you call it, and then he examined the temple and its vastu. There is a thing called vastu. It is not civil engineering. It is some kind of a hoodoo engineering it is. And so vastu. And he examines the vastu, this person's horoscope, and the god, which god it is. Is it Shiva or Vishnu? Because the vastu differs again. Or Ganesha or whatever. And all these items, all these parameters, he is a great scholar, you know. He puts all these parameters into the scheme and he addresses all of them and came out with an extraordinarily clever theory that when you do abhishekam to the god, the water has to go out, you know. Therefore, the small line which was made for the water to flow away, it is done according to the wrong vastu. Instead of going towards the north, it is going to the south, and therefore this man became sick. How is this theory? And he gave this theory. And lo behold, all this Mahatma and all his Shishyas, these Buddhus, all of them together, they come with a new proposal and they bring the artisans and masons and other people and restructure all that inside structure of the shrine and cover the earlier outlet of water and create a new outlet. And then all the Shudra people have come inside the temple now. Because the masonry work, etc., these guys cannot do. Only a mason can do. He is a Shudra. And all Shudra people have come. What do you think the kind of superstitions that are driving our religion? What do you think? I am becoming the bad guy, the fall guy, describing all these things. You all remain in good shape. At the end of the talk, I become the fall guy. I go to my room feeling bad, what I have spoken. You all nicely have nice food is waiting for you. Some prarabdha is guiding this Swami, I suppose. So, because Shudras have come inside, the god is defiled. Now the god has to be purified. And therefore there is a 3-day ritual for that. And it requires 20 lakh rupees. And therefore collect the money. There are rich people who are willing to give the money. It's a big project. And then they perform that 3-day ritual. The god is purified and the defect is rectified. How is this theory? Where from this extraordinary, clever and false theory has come? It has come from fear. Fear is death, I tell you. People are victims of absurd superstitions. Absurd means absurd. No thinking person can accept these superstitions. People have these superstitions because they are victims of fear and dogmas and beliefs. No end for the list. All these things are in place because of fear. You are afraid of death, therefore you have all kinds of dogmas, fears, superstitions about death. God of death, this and that. God of death you should love, because God of death is a Brahmavidyacharya, that is Yama. Because he knows that you have no death. You only have to know it, that's all. And he is the God of death who is telling you, there is no death for you. Okay? Therefore, fear. You see, I will conclude my blabbering. The constant assertion of a belief. You see, some belief is always there. People believe, let them have their belief as long as it is harmless. Let them have their belief, what is wrong with it? Everybody has some belief or the other, harmless belief. But the belief is not always harmless. Quite often it is harmful. Suppose you say Jallikattu is our culture and our religion, that is harmful. That bullfight, it is harmful. Very dangerous it is. Anyway, a harmless belief, people may have it, nothing wrong in it. You see, somebody has some puja and you go there and stand there and do namaskar, he will give you a banana and you eat it and do namaskar and go away. But it is harmless. Who will oppose it? People have a freedom to do that. But a constant assertion of a belief, wherever you find it, you understand that it has its origin in fear. Only a frightened person constantly asserts a belief. So, you see, also I tell you, who is aggressive? A person who is afraid is aggressive, or a person who is fearless is aggressive? The person who is afraid is aggressive. A fearless person is very calm and quiet, very simple person. He doesn't have any violence in him, and he is very calm and quiet. Only these people who are afraid, they are aggressive. Therefore, a person who has no fear of any kind, no sense of fear in him of any kind, is really a free person and a peaceful person. Therefore, fear overtakes a kshatriya is equal to death for that kshatriya. The other day, somebody asked President-elect about Indian head of the state. You know what he said? He is a fearless guy. He is not afraid. Like that he is telling. I have read it or I have saw it. He tells, I will do it. And then he will do it. He is not afraid. He is fearless. Like that, the President-elect is complimenting our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. He is not afraid. Nobody can frighten him. No, we will withdraw support. Go and jump in the lake. I don't care. That is what he will tell. He is not afraid. Therefore, fear for a head of the state is death. One should not be afraid. Om Purnamada Purnamidam